On June 1st, 1939, the Focke-Wulf Fw-190, a plane designed by the German aeronautical engineer Kurt Tonk, made its first flight and would go on to bedevil the Allies throughout the rest of World War II. With upgrades throughout its service life, the Butcher Bird, or Shrike, as it was known due to its heavy firepower, would remain on the leading edge of piston engine performance. Digging deeper, we find that with its introduction to combat over the English Channel in France in 1941, the Fw-190 became an obvious game changer, requiring Allied designers to upgrade existing Spitfires and come up with better fighters in general. Like other World War II fighters, various engines were tried and various armament suites were mounted with more or fewer guns and different combinations, including bombs and extra cannon mounted in pods. Unlike other German and British fighters, the Fw-190 was initially equipped with a radial engine which gave it a distinct profile until the introduction of the American P-47 Thunderbolt. Later models were given an inline engine that allowed for better high-altitude performance when intercepting Allied heavy bombers. Initially, the Fw-190 had suffered at high altitudes, whereas at low and medium altitudes it was supreme. This racy-looking fighter also had a hidden advantage over its fellow fighters in that, instead of cables and pulleys to move control surfaces, it used rigid rods and ball bearings. This feature provided reduced force needed to move controls and more precise control of the airplane. Heavily armed with two 13mm machine guns and four 20mm cannon, early models had four 7.92mm machine guns and two 20mm cannon, the Butcher Bird certainly earned its name. Its speed would be eventually increased to 426 miles per hour to allow it to keep up with Allied fighters. A high-speed, high-altitude version of the Fw-190, known as the TA-152, was designed, but only 43 were produced, which is lucky for the Allied pilots that faced this machine, because the TA-152 could zip along at 472 miles per hour. The TA-152 was also armed with either one 30mm cannon and two 20mm cannon, or one 30mm cannon and four 20mm cannon. Very heavy armament designed to take down large and rugged Allied heavy bombers. The wide undercarriage was part of Kurt Tonk's plan to create an easy-to-maintain war machine equipped for the rigors of frontline duty on primitive fields and primitive conditions. Access to the engine and other important parts were made to be easily accessed by ground crews. Though not quite able to turn with a Spitfire, the Fw-190 did have the fastest roll rate of any World War II fighter, while its rugged build, radial engine, less vulnerable than water-cooled inline engines, and heavy firepower made it a great ground attack fighter-bomber. Despite persistent Allied bombing of the Focke-Wulf production facilities, over 20,000 Fw-190s were built, and some still served after the war until 1949 with the Turkish Air Force. To this day, pilots and airplane enthusiasts still debate whether the Fw-190 really was better than the Messerschmitt Bf-109. Partisan proponents from the countries involved in World War II usually favor examples from their own country, but national leanings aside, the Fw-190 needs to at least be considered in any discussion of the best fighter aircraft of World War II. As a question for my students and subscribers, which do you think was the best of the World War II fighters? Let us know in the comment section below this video. For reference, please see our articles 10 Greatest Fighter Planes and 10 Greatest Enemy Fighter Planes. If you like this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History and Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated.